Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I am your host, Angelina Wilson. This is the case of Pearl Turner. She disappeared on Friday, October 19th, 1923. In the White Oak Mountain region of Arkansas, in the town of Tate. Her father was a sharecropper, and he was out cutting firewood with two of his older children, Rose and Ruby, when little 3-year-old Pearl came out to where they were working. So he told the two older girls, Rosa and Ruby, to take her back to the cabin so she would not get hurt. So they took her back to the front yard of the cabin. They left her sitting there eating some huckleberries. They gathered for lunch, and Mom said, "Where's Pearlie?" And they began searching. The Sunday paper had the headline, "Scores Join Hunt for Lost Mountain Child." A man came with bloodhounds the next day, on Monday, and the mother said, "I dreamed about you. You're the man I saw find my baby in a dream, and I'm going to stay with you until you find her." He did not find her. That night, the mountain was described as looking like a giant Christmas tree with lights from campfires scattered across the slope. The next day, trucks furnished by OK Transfer and Storage Company in Fort Smith, Arkansas, arrived carrying Boy Scouts of America, Boy Rangers of Arkansas, and new camping supplies for the searchers. More wagon loads of supplies and searchers continued to arrive on the rough mountain road. A wagon loaded with groceries and supplies arrived, bearing a place card that read, "From the Ku Klux Klan of Mansfield, Arkansas." Yikes! Yeah, not so much. And they pretty much believed at this point that she was kidnapped. They pointed the finger at one point at a man called Preacher, who was the leader of a small religious group. The sheriff was too busy searching and didn't arrest the man. There was no proof anyway. They did have a male visitor the day Pearl disappeared. A man called Hermit, because I guess he was a hermit, said he saw little Pearl sleeping on a bed in the home of a man on the outer edge of the mountain community So they arrested the man, his wife, and their 17-year-old son. But Hermit didn't appear in court, and they had to let him go because they had no proof. He used to teach songs to the children of the community. That's all they really knew about Hermit. And then a report from Melbourne, Arkansas came saying there's a couple in a covered wagon with a child that looks like Pearl. So the sheriff's posse went out and they showed them their kids' birth certificates. No, she's ours. From Oklahoma came word of a couple passing through with a child that also could have been Pearl. They never found this couple. I mean, they... And the matron of the train yard had Mrs. Turner stay with her overnight and had two clairvoyants that she hired, and they told her daughter was okay. Again, the newspaper ran a headline on November 8th, "Missing Turner Child Reportedly Found in Oklahoma." The child was abandoned by itinerant construction workers at a boarding house in Pitcher, Oklahoma. Okay, that's interesting. When interviewing the little girl, the owner of the boarding house asked her, "What is your name?" She said, "Elizabeth." And then she supposedly said, "But it used to be Pearl Turner." And she told the woman she used to live in a place where the hills were all covered with trees. She left with a man and a nice lady who offered her candy, a new dress, and stockings. And Sheriff Allen was getting a haircut when he got the news. The person that abandoned her at the boarding house maintains his daughter, Elizabeth. Although he did say he left her to be picked up by her mom, who had died 3 years before. So he had the license plate of one of the clairvoyants that was searching for the child with no explanation. That's just plain weird. They raised money to send Layla and one of her daughters and she said her name was Pearl Turner, and her mother looked for a specific scar that she did not have. And on November 18th, there was another news headline, "New hunt to be organized in Hill Section." Her mother would walk around the mountains just crying, "Where are you? Pearlie, where are you?" That is absolutely heartbreaking. Her father Lynn passed away in 1970, and her mother Layla passed away in 1973. Now, obviously, I don't have phone numbers or anything for this case because it's so old. This case is almost 102 years old. 1923, so yeah, almost 102 years old. Because it's 2025. I don't think that little girl was her. I think Hermit wanted it to be her, and he did remain friends with the family. There were no hard feelings. He just really wanted it to be her, you know? I think she was someone from that area because she knew a song he had taught the kids in the area. And he was a harmless old man that just wanted to help. I do feel bad. For him, for them, that so many of her family members are gone. I'm sure she has nieces and nephews that are alive, and maybe even, younger siblings. No, because even the one that was an infant would be 100 years old. So probably nieces and nephews that are alive. So, why does that sound? Anyway, so let me know what you think. I'm glad that the sheriffs took it seriously and worked really hard on it. Like I said, I don't think that little girl was her, but I do think that little girl was from the area. Today we could do DNA and find out, but it would be interesting to find out what ended up happening to that little girl. They keep saying he abandoned her at the boarding house. I don't think that's abandonment. He put her in the boarding house because he was an itinerant worker and couldn't have her with him. But it would be interesting to know who she really was. Like I said, I don't believe she was Pearl, and I don't know whether I have a picture of Pearl or not. I think that's my heat kicking. It's loud. I hope you can't hear it. Thank you so much. I will be uploading and editing this today. Please check out the other channels. I will have a video on Punky's Pro Wrestling as well as my regular videos on Punky's World. So, booting the computer for editing. So yeah, thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you Wednesday. Bye, guys.